It's Friday. I'm excited. I'm running late with my coffee. Don't sit behind me. Don't sit behind me. Sit next to me. Yeah. Yeah. Three, two, one. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Friday, July 20th, and I'm still making my first cup of coffee. It's brewing. It's dripping. What would be the right verb for a pour over? It's pour overing? No, I think dripping is the right word. This is the one downside to it, is it takes longer than the other way. So, if I don't start my coffee process by 5 minutes of, I don't have coffee for kicking off the show. We're almost there. And I've found that putting the hot water in here and then pouring it in is better, because otherwise, how do you know how much to pour in? Right? Right, Cat? Cat seems to be in a good mood this morning. She wanted to play, and by play I mean attack me. Had a good day. Thursday was a good day. No, I don't need you to sit on me. You're fine. Thursday was a good day. Happy Friday to you, Stacy. What would we do? Car is at the dealership. I have a loaner. Still. Fortunately, one of the intermittent problems showed up when I went for a drive with the engineer. So at least one of the 472 things that are wrong, they believe me. They're just, I can tell, they're just going to randomly swap parts and update things, and I'm not going to know if it's better or not, because these problems are intermittent. But I should know in the next, I don't know, month or two. We'll go from there. Are you done? Almost done. A few more drips. What else did I do? I took a nap, did some email, went to the gym, and had dinner at a client's and left with money. I mean, how great is it? They want me to come to their house so they can cook, and we can talk, and they can pay me. It's a pretty good setup right there. I'm not gonna lie. I will do that often. But of course, it means I have work to do now. More work, which I'll start on Monday. It'll be good. This will be a fun client to work with. Somebody being able to work with people I like and respect and can learn from. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. Being able to learn about something as I'm doing my work is a big deal to me. And here's my first cup of coffee. It's good. Today should be a light day. Got a client call at 8, and then I am doing the videos and all that comes with that for the fight conditioning program. My goal is to have that launched by the end of the day. I'm going to work really hard for that. And there's no reason I shouldn't be able to do it, because there aren't that many videos. There really aren't. I've got everything I need. I've got this tripod that this phone is sitting on. I've got my phone to record, and I've got all the various tools that one might use for this. So, yeah. I'll get the videos done and get them edited, get them online. And for those of you that are part of the Patreon, expect to see a coupon code in Patreon probably today, if not today, Monday, for the program, so you can get your free copy. Because we haven't been rolling out books, so I got to give you guys something. Those of you in the $25 a month tier, you get all the books, and in this case, the books are the programs. What are we doing with books? What are we doing with books? We are revising and expanding the Master Hopkick origin story a bit. And then there is some hopefully weekly content coming to Marshall Journal for Master Hopkick, something that was working with the person I've selected to work on the writing. And we were chatting about that Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. I don't think it was yesterday. Days are blurry. Pretty sure it was Wednesday. And as we were talking back and forth, came up with a format that I think is pretty cool. So you'll see that soon. What else? I don't know. I don't even know what the weather's supposed to be. Right? I got back late. Client and client's wife just kept wanting to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, which was great. Stacy says it's February the 94th. Yeah, all things are blurry. You ain't kidding. Man. This is just the weirdest year. You know what? Completely unrelated to martial arts. I'm listening to an audiobook from Bill Bryson. If you know me, you know that he's my favorite author. Awesome. And he's been rather prolific. So there are a lot of books. And the one I'm reading now is called One Summer. And it's about the year 1927 and how insane it was. It's the year that Lindbergh flew across the Atlantic, as well as a whole bunch of other things. And Bill Bryson's style is great. He goes pretty deep on things. So you learn a lot while it's entertaining. And he has a great voice for reading his own books. And I'm listening to what's going on in this story, this not really story, but in this account from roughly 100 years ago. And I'm pretty sure what we're doing now is crazier. In 50 or 100 years, people will do a similar book on the year 2020, and people won't believe it. They'll just say, there's no way all of that's true. It's all true. It's all true. And you know what? There's still over 5 months left. There's over 5 months of insanity, and imagine all the insanity that is coming with elections, and as it gets cold, and hurricanes, and all the things that normally are crazy they're just going to be crazier for some reason. I don't know why. I have no idea why. It's just crazy. Utterly crazy. All right. Let's see what you all wrote in. Remember, if you want to write in something, question, comment, something for me to talk about, I would appreciate it, and you can do that by writing it below. All right. What do we got? We've got, well, first off, we've got jokes from Frank for Funday Friday, and we have some quotes from Frank, and we've got a question from Gabe. So thank you, Frank and Gabe. All right, the jokes for Funday Friday. What's the best day of the week to go to the beach? Sunday. I applied for a job at the local restaurant. I'm still waiting. Did you hear about those new reversible jackets? I'm excited to see how they turn out. Frank, my friend, you have quite the knack for these. And for some reason lately, we've been getting a lot of people making generic comments first or second on our account, and I don't know why. I don't know what the value is there, but hey. All right, I'll do Gabe's question first. Have you or would you consider doing a day in the life video blog for yourself? I haven't considered it. How would that be different from this? This tends to be more forward-looking. A day in the life would probably be more backwards-looking. I do try to tell you all what I did yesterday, what happened. I think one of my initial responses is I'm still a little uncomfortable about making things about me. This what I do here, this is so vulnerable for me. And it's been helpful. It's really been a beneficial thing for me. Here I am, who looks their best in the morning, right? And I'm not even wearing quote unquote clothes. I'm in a bathrobe. I've got a cat. I'm drinking coffee. I mean, this is a weird concept for a show. And I think I needed that. I think it needed to be weird for me to be able to wrap my brain around it, because it was different enough that there was nothing to compare to, so it couldn't be bad. Might not be worth watching, but pretty sure this is the only version of a show like this. I have speculated, as I realize that video is important and is continuing to be important and is growing in importance. And I'm rolling my eyes because it's so much more difficult to do video. The videos that I'm going to do for the next program today, if they were audio files, I would be done, literally done with all of them, recording and editing and posting in an hour. And to do what I'm doing is probably going to be 3 or 4, just by adding a visual component. Okay, all right, we'll lay down. I've considered trying to find a video intern, somebody who wants to film and edit with a purpose, and just have them swing by, 4 hours a week. 4 hours a week, I can give you all the footage you need. We can do technique, we can do a lot of things. And then I look at it and say, okay, is that the best way to use that money right now? No. So we won't. I'm really hoping this program takes off. If this program takes off, it should, even if it does okay, it should close the gap on the financials, which would be really helpful. So, that's a long answer, Gabe. Short answer, no, I have not considered it. Obviously, I'm considering it now. But I don't think it's something I'm going to do in addition to this. The video blogs, the vlogs, or if you're really awkward, the vlog that I've seen, they don't add a lot of value to people. The reason they become valuable to people is that they know them, or they're a celebrity or somebody they look up to. I'm not there. Even if I was there, I don't know that I would want to act like I was there. I want to give substance that is beyond the fact that it's coming out of my mouth. So, well, I got 5 quotes here. Oh, 4 quotes and a question from Frank. We'll save the question for the end. It's a good one. We never really grow up. We only learn how to act in public. Bryan White. I agree. It blows my mind to remember that I'm 41. I don't think I look 41. Nobody tells me it. People are generally surprised when they find out how old I am. People routinely think I'm in my late 20s or early 30s. I know I don't act 41. I don't feel 41. I feel like I'm 25, maybe 27. I've just had a really long childhood. And I think that's part of the secret. I have fun. I think it's important. I can be serious when it's necessary. I know when it's appropriate. I think a lot of people take things too seriously. I think they're living in so much fear that they put on this mask of what it means to be an adult. Be goofy, be silly, get on. Here's a great example. So last night I was at dinner, and as I got to know these people a little bit better, I felt pretty comfortable with them. They had three dogs, three small dogs, and one of them really liked me and kept coming over. And we were all just, one of them was doing something, and the other was making dinner, and I was sitting there, and so I sat on the floor with the dog. Most adults at a business meeting aren't going to sit on the floor with a dog. I don't care. I'll sit on the floor with a dog. I like dogs. Coffee came out really good today. Still the Guatemalan roast from Costco. It's a big bag. I've been working on that. Forgive your enemies, but never forget their names. John F. Kennedy. Yeah. There are quite a few people, I think all of us have quite a few people who have wronged us in our lives. A lot of people hold on to that. I've worked really hard to let it go. I've had some people who've treated me terribly. I mean, really painfully. And I've done my best to let go of it. But that doesn't mean that I forget it. I think I've mentioned this before. When I've spoken about being bullied as a kid, there are a handful of people that I think of that were really, really solidly involved. And one of them reached out. He listens to the podcast. He does martial arts. He tried friending me on Facebook several times, and I just deleted it. And after the third or fourth time, I wrote to him and I said, I can't be your friend. I can't forget what you did. I wish you well. I hope you have a great life, but I will never be in it. And he said he understood. I forgive him, because I'm sure he was just as tortured by others, and he didn't know how to deal with it. I get that. But it doesn't mean I need to expose myself to that again, and there's no value there. Right? There's a line from a song that's coming to mind. Never hate, that's just wasted energy. Try not to hate. I don't think I hate anyone. If we have a finite amount of energy to devote to things, hate's a waste. We spend the first 12 months of our children's lives teaching them to walk and talk, and the next 12 telling them to sit down and shut up. Phyllis Diller. I can only relate to that anecdotally as not having kids. I didn't have to teach the cat how to walk, but I definitely tell her to leave me alone and go eat her food and all that. She's tucked in at my hip, leaned against me, purring up a storm. It's probably her favorite thing, leaning against me and sleeping, whether it's on the couch or on the bed. what can we take from that, right? Kids are all about extremes, and then we're constantly correcting them. Think about kids start to walk, and then they're walking around, and then they learn to run, and we're tempering when they run and where they run, and everything that kids do is on this kind of spectrum, and it swings back and forth, and we slowly tighten it up so that hopefully when they turn 18 or whatever, when they become an adult, they can gauge for themselves. I believe I've shared this on the show before. As someone who doesn't have children, there are a lot of things that I haven't experienced with kids. But intellectually, I'm still, interested in kids and spend a lot of time with kids and teach kids. And the best thing I ever heard was the role of a parent is not to raise a child, it's to raise an adult. And when I started looking at things through that lens, a lot of things made more sense. And a lot of parenting styles made far less sense. Helicopter parents, that doesn't make sense. Because you're not going to be there for your kid 24/7. The way I was raised makes a lot more sense. Could every parent improve? Yeah. Does every parent have regrets? I'm sure they do. I have regrets with my pets. I'm sure everybody's got regrets with their kids. I didn't tell you what's going on this weekend. What's going on this weekend? Hoping to get out in the yard, get on the motorcycle, sleep in. I would love to sleep in. Oh, you know what else is happening tonight that I'm really pumped about? A friend of mine's making his debut in Bellator. I rarely talk about MMA. I rarely watch MMA. I don't think I have to pay for this one, but if I do, I'll do it in a heartbeat. So good luck to Raz. He's been on the show. Raz Hilton. I don't remember what episode it was, but Hilton is Hylton. So if you wanna brush up on that before watching, I think it starts 8:45 Eastern tonight. I am pumped for him. He's a great guy, and he is a traditional martial artist to the core. He really is. Good heart, good man. Wish him the absolute best. If you could kick the person in the pants responsible for most of your trouble, you wouldn't sit for a month. Theodore Roosevelt. I've never heard that. That's phenomenal. Oh, what a great line. I don't know how often I share this on this show, but when I'm talking with people come to me for advice, as you might imagine. I've always been someone that people have come to for advice. They want my opinion on things. I guess because I'm a thoughtful person, people want my thoughts. And one of the tools I guess I use to consider situations and offer advice is this realization that we all need to remain the hero in our own story. Whatever's going on, whatever's happened. If we are not the center point of our story, if we are not the hero, if we're not the good guy, things fall apart really quickly. So people would do tremendous mental gymnastics to remain the hero. When something bad happens to you, most people's instinct is to look at outside influences. What are the things that others did wrong? How was I wrong? How is this everyone's fault but mine? I learned pretty early on that is silly, because you can't control other people. The only thing you can control is your own actions, your own reactions to things. So that's where I spend my time. What could I have done differently? How could I perform better in the future? How are my emotions betraying me, etc. It's been really productive, really helpful. There's a lot of benefit in looking at the world that way. Let's take the pandemic. I'm not responsible for the virus. I'm not responsible for any legislation. I'm not responsible for Amazon saying that they were going to delay sending stuff out. I'm not responsible. There's a huge list I could give you. What am I responsible for? Not having more cash put aside for the business. Not diversifying sooner away from products in for income purposes. I could go on. You learn. It's all you can do. You learn, you make improvements, you move on. Don't blame people. It's silly. And that includes yourself. You got to be kind to yourself. You have to treat yourself with enough kindness and respect that at least the same kindness and respect you would treat others. Otherwise, no one will. No one's going to treat you better than you treat yourself. And our last bit for the day. Frank's got a question. Have you ever used a quote or joke from First Cup outside of the show? I have used a joke. So my family, we've got a Stacy says, that's the hardest kindness to practice. Completely agree. The most important, the most rewarding, I would say. I'm on a group text with my family, and Dad started months ago with the dad jokes. It's pretty much the only thing he puts in there, are dad jokes. And I don't know where he's getting them all. I'm guessing he's researching them. Can you hear that? That's the neighbor's dog. That's Milo. Milo's a good dog. I like Milo. Milo's got a little beard. It's cute. Some kind of terrier mix. And so all these dad jokes coming in, and Mom started it too. In the last few weeks, she's throwing dad jokes in, and so we're just constantly bombarded by dad jokes. And I've put a couple of Frank's in there when it seemed like the conversation is not so conversational, but when the conversation has lulled, I've thrown some of those in there, and they were well received. I've encouraged Frank to make a book of his original ones. And, yeah. Who doesn't like dad jokes? Why are they dad? I don't even know why they're called dad jokes. I mean, we can all speculate. It's because they're silly, lame jokes of the style that fathers would tell their kids. But there's something really wholesome about them, because they're simple, and they're not graphic, and I think there's a universality to them. I think there's something really elegant in that type of joke, because maybe it doesn't make you fall over laughing, but it makes you smile, because it's an observation that's pretty universal, and I think that's cool. And I'm glad we get to do them, and I'm very thankful to Frank for making sure that we have some of them every Friday. And I'm thankful to Frank for this show and the work that he does on this show, in terms of making sure there's always content as well as behind the scenes. Thank you again to Gabe for his great question today, and thank you to all of you for coming by, for watching, for your support, for making purchases at whistlekick.com. Use the code FIRSTCUP15 to save 15%. There will be an introductory price for the fight conditioning program, so check that out. Thank you for those of you who contribute to the Patreon. If you're in the $25 a month tier, you're going to get the program for free, even though that program is going to debut at a higher price. This will be our most expensive program yet. Yeah, I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you leave me questions and comments to respond to on Monday. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. I hope the best for you. So thanks for coming by, and I'll see you back here on Monday. Take care, everybody. Peace.